Mhm. If you got a PS5 Pro, you're fucking gay. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the State of Game podcast. And no, I was joking. Well, halfway.
Hey,
Hey is right. Uh, well, ladies and gentlemen, it is Sunday night, my favorite time of the year. We got an hour back of our lives a couple weeks ago. Wait, was it a couple weeks ago? Been a
I
week.
thought it was like on the third or the fourth, something like that.
It's only been like a week, man.
Yeah.
But it's such a shame that we got to push the clock forward. And I didn't make this announcement last week, but I must take the time to do so because I feel like I got an hour back. I even feel better rested. I don't know. It's just something psychological. But the shitty part about this is that it ends in March, so we don't even get more than like 4 months of our life back, with the time being the way that it should be. But either way, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have Nelson's not here today. Nelson went hunting in Minnesota, and he will be back next week, possibly, I think, next week. And tonight we have a couple guests. And the first one is a friend of the channel. He is part of the Just Playing live stream on Tuesdays with Mr. Henry Heck and I. And it is RPG 88. How are you, RPG?
I'm doing awesome. How you doing?
Oh, man,
How's
like
everybody in chat?
all three of us. I think it's
All
literally
three
three
of
of us
us. Yeah, well, they'll show up.
eventually. But I'm good, man. I've been gaming. I've been gaming a lot, but I haven't been gaming at all. Does that make sense to you?
I completely agree with that.
I'm like bouncing from so much shit. It's hard for me to like, get into a game for more than just like 30 minutes, an hour. I mean, I've been playing the shit out of Redacted, which is a game that it's up here. But yeah, I mean, we'll get into that in a little bit. Our second guest of the evening is Mr. Iron Man himself. Well, not really, but Iron Man, Mr. Brett. How are you, bro?
I'm really good, man. I'm no complaints, feeling a lot better this time around, so excited to be here.
Yeah, last time Mr. Brett was here, he was he got what's the name of that sickness when you kiss people you can pass it on and shit? Mono. He got mono from his boyfriend last time, so he was a little under the weather. And
It
he's
was
back today.
horrible.
Hey, true story. I was in the, as you guys know, well, some of you guys know, I was in the military. I was stationed in Fort Carson, Colorado, and a friend of mine who we went to boot camp together, and we were also in the same duty station together.
He
He
said duty.
duty station, yes, booty station. Um, he invited me for Thanksgiving one year at his family's house in Missouri. So we're gonna drive out there. The plan was go to Missouri, have dinner with the family, and then head back Sunday and go back to work on Monday. Or we leave like a Thursday, I think it was, or Wednesday night. I forgot what it was. The day before we leave, we're having a good time hanging out. Went to the club, I think it was. And we wake up at the ass crack of dawn, start driving to Missouri. We get to Missouri, and all of a sudden, he doesn't start feeling that good. And a few hours later, he is completely bedridden. So his grandmother takes him to the emergency room. And we found out that he got mono. So the whole time he was in his grandma's spare bedroom, locked up, didn't even eat Thanksgiving. In the meantime, his grandmother and grandfather took me over to the governor's mansion for Thanksgiving dinner that year. So he missed out just because he couldn't keep his fucking tongue tied and kissing random bitches at the club, and that's what the fuck he gets. And the trip back is a whole other thing. I mean, back then, how old was I? I was 19 or something. So what I used to do, I don't know if they still do this now. I haven't experienced it in a long time, but I used to go to the ATM and withdraw up to $400, and I'd be negative $400, and that's how much my bank will let me do. And then when I got paid, then it cleared up that $400, and then I would have a little bit extra. Being in the military, I think I forgot how much I got paid. I think it was like $600-700 every 2 weeks or something like that. It was very little, but you get all your shit paid for. The reason I'm bringing this up because leaving Missouri, that was gonna be my plan. I told Davis, I'm like, dude, don't worry about money. I got it. I'm gonna go negative $400. We stopped to get gas. I tried to go negative $400, and guess what happened? My bank said, fuck you. We're done with your fucking brokenness. Maybe that's why I don't have a PS5 Pro now, because I'm a brokey. And for the grace of God, we made it back to Colorado. But yeah, that was a crazy 4-day weekend, Missouri, mono. And I hope Brett didn't get how my buddy Davis got mono. Wait, you didn't even get mono. I'm over here talking like you
No.
got mono. Anyways. Well, ladies and gentlemen, another week here at the State of Game podcast, and it's been kind of like was telling RPG, I've been doing a lot of gaming, but haven't really been gaming. I mean, I did beat 2 games this week, which was Moss, the first one on VR, and I just beat before we got on the show Hubris for the PSVR 2. So both those games I've been gaming on. I've also been gaming a shit ton on Redacted. That game has become so addicting to me, especially the more you level up and the more shit you get, it becomes way more funner. I've put down Dragon's Age. It has become kind of a chore and a burden to play that game, and I can't pinpoint quite why. Maybe I'll say something about it as the podcast goes on. And the other thing I've been playing is Metro VR. So Metro VR has led me to play the other VR games, because with Metro, such a great game, but it has spiders and creepy things that really creep me out. So I got to take a break. And since I already got my VR headset on, I'm like, hey, let's just play these other VR games, right? RPG, what have you been playing this week, Mister? I got a pro myself. I'm not a brokey.
I've been playing a little bit of everything, and that is the main thing. Is I got the Pro on Thursday about noon, and I've been playing, playing a little bit of Dying Light, playing a little bit of Dragon's Dogma, a little bit of Call of Duty, a little bit of Hogwarts, a little bit of the new updated Horizon Zero Dawn, and a couple other things. Let me look.
But
What do I
wait,
got down
are
list
you
here?
playing those because you want to or because you want to test it out?
I'm wanting to test them out. There's nothing that's hooked me quite yet, other than probably Dragon's Dogma 2, because it runs so good now that it's like, oh, well, I can finally sit down and I can actually finally start running through this game. I made it a fair chunk of the way the first time, but the performance after you get to a certain part, which is like the second half of the map, the performance ass just fell out from underneath it. So that I had like Call of Duty stuff and everything going on too, so that kind of pulled my attention. I did run a mission in Space Marines too, and it's running a lot smoother. Not that it was running horrible back on the base PS5, but you can definitely tell it runs a little bit smoother now. Solid 60.
Nice. And we'll get into
Uh,
those
yeah,
those
No
those
Man's
numbers.
Sky works good.
I know that's your game. I know that's your
Oh, yeah. Oh
that's
yeah,
your
it runs damn good.
no, that's good. Well, we'll get into what the pro has been doing to those games you've been playing because we talked about some of it yesterday, but I want the people to hear and I want a little bit more specifics. Mr. Brett, what you been playing on this
Yo.
last week?
So I play a bunch of different games from Call of Duty. I jumped into some Call of Duty. I beat the Easter egg on Liberty Falls. Right now, though, for the first time since probably Diablo 4 expansion, putting a lot of my time into Death Stranding. Uh, Usually, I'm the type of gamer where, like you, I'm gaming, but I'm not gaming. Like I'm interested for like an hour, 30 minutes. I jump to the next game and then jump to the next game. Uh, Death Stranding, though, is kind of one game that I'm playing that I am continuously playing to the point where so like I'm a fast gamer in terms of I skip cutscenes. I don't care about the law. I want to get straight to the game. I want to kill things, whatever the game entails. But this game, I'm sitting there, I'm listening to every conversation, every single cutscene. I'm just, for some reason, I'm super invested, and I'm quite pleased with uh, uh, how the game is turning out so far. Absolutely.
You
You
remind
want
me
to
of
know
a
what that?
typical Xbox gamer. Don't give a
You
fuck
want to
about
know?
shit.
You want to know what that is? That thing that's slowing you down from skipping cutscenes and keeping you active in the game and wanting, you're probably at work and you're probably sitting there thinking about the game. That's the Kojima effect.
Oh,
Yeah, like
That,
this,
that,
the writing is great, and then
mm-hmm.
like when you're watching these cutscenes and like you start to hear the music in the background and it plays so well with what's going on in the cutscene, it's just it's like win, and I just like I understand like right now like I'm just delivering packages, but the system mechanics and how the game works is different enough to me that feels unique, and I'm absolutely loving it.
well, those you
It's
brought up
amazing.
two good points. One of them is actually something I've been wanting to talk for a while, and the second one, damn it. But I don't know, I blurred out. But yeah, I said you're a typical bot gamer. That's just Xbox. They don't fucking appreciate shit but fucking gameplay, and even then they don't play it. I mean, look at the fucking Call of Duty. What do you call trophies or not trophies over there on Xbox?
Achievements.
Achievements. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, look, if I sound what do you call that RPG when you're like
Disgruntled.
an asshole? I guess just I was thinking asshole, but I guess disgruntled sounds better. Um, don't take it personal and stop being a pussy. Um, but that is a good point because people ask me all the time, Will, how the fuck do you game so much? Blah, 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 right? And first off, you put effort into the shit that you want to, right? But the reason I game so much is because gaming has taken over things like movies, TV shows, shit, even music. I mean, occasionally, like I did a couple days ago, I listened to music nonstop for like 4 hours. So I'll do that every 4 or 5 months or so, but generally, gaming takes over that. So it's not that I have more time than you. It's just that I don't do none of the other shit. So when I play a game, like for example, I've been playing the shit out of Redacted. When I say I'm playing the shit out of Redacted, what I mean is I'll play for 45 minutes or an hour, and then I have to put it down because it's still missing that element.
Yeah, the hook.
The hook. Well, not what I'm trying to get to. That element for me is the story. Now, a game
Mhm.
like Redacted does have a story. You got to go from, it's a Callisto Protocol story. You got to escape the fucking Black Iron prison. And that's the game, right? That's the story. And there's little things that happen in between there, but it's nothing engaging. So the reason gaming has been able to take over some of these other entertainments like movies and TV shows is because I depend on the story of a game to give me that entertainment aspect, that to scratch that itch. So when I look at a game, it has to check off story, music, art style, mechanical gameplay, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's got to check off those boxes. I am past the Will being 6 years old playing Super Mario World in my Nintendo fucking Super Nintendo with no fucking story whatsoever except save the fucking princess and it's all gameplay. Like that shit is fucking boring. So Brett brought up a point that he has been listening to the and Brett, how do you like that fucking music in the game?
Oh my bro, dude! Listen. When I
That's the best
when
thing,
I
bro. Death Stranding has, bro. Is the music.
the first time I was running through the open world and I'm going to my first spot and it looks stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. And then like all of a sudden I start hearing this song in the background and it just like I just stopped and I just took my character and I looked around because it just felt like this song just is like the perfect fit for me to just take a second, just take it all in, just enjoy what the game has to offer at this exact moment. And every time I hear a song just like play as I'm going through the world, and it every song fits absolutely perfect.
Hi.
I get goosebumps kind of. I'm like, dude, he just like nailed it with this game.
Yeah,
He really
he's
did.
very
Yeah.
atmospheric, very atmospheric.
What's up, Cyber? How you doing? Yes, it's very atmospheric, and that's, like there's music that I've heard in my life where I'm like, this will go perfect with this with a scene that I make up in my head, right? Or like a
Mm,
fucking
yeah.
movie or something that I would apply this song to. And Kojima did a great job. I mean, look, RPG, that's his fucking ringtone. Is the damn
Oh, the
um
alert,
the alert.
the Death Stranding alert when you finish a mission or you get an update on your comm system, and it
Yeah.
does that. Dee, 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 dee.
Yeah, that's RPG.
Yep.
So from Death Stranding, but so that's those things that are very important to me. And we can talk. We're going to talk about Death Stranding and the whole Xbox thing and all that. We're going to get into that. But you brought up that point, so I really want to talk about that. And look, everybody's a completely different gamer, right? We have Brett who don't give a fuck about story for the most part. He just wants the fucking gameplay, which I think he's a fucking loser for that. But hey, that's his fucking deal, right? My shit, it needs to hit with the story. So if I were to pick like top three things I look for in a game, story is probably one or two, right? Sometimes even above gameplay, because there's numerous stories or games that I would play just for the fucking story and not quite so much for the gameplay mechanics. And some people are the opposite. They don't give a shit about the story. They just want straight up gameplay mechanics or whatever. RPG, what do you look for?
I look for a little bit of all of it. I mean, it's you if you're gonna
Hi,
have good
Cyber.
gameplay. So I'll use Call of Duty as an example. I don't play Call of Duty for the campaign. I don't play it for
I
the
do.
story. And yeah, that's we're two different because you hate PvP.
Yeah.
You have no interest in PvP. Me, that is like my main draw for Call of Duty is PvP. And I don't go into the Warzone shit because I'm not gonna get shot from a sniper 4 miles across the map because some dude's fucking head glitching and on glinting. But like the arena, the multiplayer PvP, like search and destroy, team deathmatch, anything like that, I play those games purely for the gameplay and purely for the battle pass chase because I like getting those boxes unlocked and getting rewards out of the battle pass. Now, as far as like Sony games, I tend to play those God of Wars, those Horizons for everything because they have fucking awesome gameplay. They have awesome story. They have awesome music, awesome soundtracks, and they got good graphics. The graphics are running great, damn near 4K most of the time. And if you're not running 4K on the bases, you're running like 1440p and you're running like 60 hertz or 60 frames. So with Sony, you kind of get like all of that wrapped up into one. But there is certain games like those last year's games I primarily play more for the gameplay than the atmosphere or the story.
Yeah, and Brett, I'm
Okay.
sorry I talked for you and said that you were a loser and you're strictly gameplay, but how about you tell us what you look for in the game?
So the reason the reason why I don't hold the story per se at such a high regard is because I've seen people completely disregard everything the game has to offer as a whole based on how the story for them. And like I'm the type of gamer where what matters to me the most is I'm going to be doing most of the time during the game. So if I'm playing a game that is extremely story driven, which I don't really play many of those, then there's a time to pay just to the story. But like for the most part, what I'm doing throughout the game matters just way too much to me. Like a game that has real good gameplay and real good mechanics is a game like when I watch a trailer, I watch one trailer and I kind of make my decision based on gameplay trailers because I want to know what Dragon Age for instance, everyone's saying, "Oh, the writing is horrible. The game is political." When I play a game, I don't see any of that. Why? Because I don't put the story as high regard as everybody else, but I see the gameplay and the color palettes that they're using while they're doing their moves and how everything looks, and that right there is like that's what I want to be doing. I don't see all this other shit that people see because they hold the story at a high regard. And that's why I think last year I tried 122 games. And the reason why is I just like play games like I when Destiny 1 came out, that was 5,000 hours of my life. Like I just put all and I don't ever like kind of want to put that much time into like just one game by itself anymore. Like I was playing too much Diablo 4. So like I had to step out of like that game there. I paid attention to that story because just something about it just I didn't even pay attention to the D4 original story. I couldn't tell you at all what the fuck it was about really. But when it comes to the expansion, for some reason, I don't know if it's the trailers or what they were talking about the story entailed, but I paid attention to that story, and that's not a story-driven game. That game is basically get to the end game, farm your gear, kill the end game bosses, push as far as you can in the pit. But I took my time and I paid attention to the story, and I didn't regret it. But it's that I don't like story. Story is nice. It kind of puts everything together. But at the end of the day, I'm just not going to hold it to as high of a regard as other people because at the end of the day, it doesn't affect what I'm doing throughout the game is all. Like, good stories are nice, but it's just not a requirement for me. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. I'd rather just be killing shit, farming gear, whatever. That's just simply it.
Well, gamers like that, like you, I call them arcade gamers. Like I don't you have a console, you play a shit ton of games, but if they just
Mm,
made an arcade where it had similar types of games that aren't necessarily big budget AAA games like how we have now, I think that you guys, your type of gamer, would be just as fucking happy. And I just think gaming has evolved so much in the last couple decades that to just be an arcade gamer, and I don't know if that's what it's called. I'm just kind of labeling it on my own. but to be just an arcade gamer, I think that it's like going to a buffet and you're only eating the mashed potatoes and chicken and gravy and everything else is fucking gone. Which is nothing wrong with that, of course. You like what you like, and I like what I like, right? Somebody may say the same shit about me with my stories in my games. But I just think that the offering is so good that there's so many games that come out. I mean, we've been through the list a million times on the show, and just in a month of October, I mean, there was in like 2 week period, there was like 40 physical games that were coming out, not including the digitals. So if you're the type of gamer that likes to try a lot of shit, it can become very expensive, and it can also become like me, where I've been gaming a lot but not getting a lot of gaming done. And but that's an
Yeah,
interesting topic because obviously everybody's going to be different and everybody's going to be feeling something different about each type of game. And even like for you, even though you normally don't give a shit about story, well, with Kojima's game, you're not being yourself in that game, right? So it just kind of depends.
right. Well, that's the beauty of the type of gamer I am. For instance, I absolutely hated roguelikes. I did. I just never liked them. And then I got my PS5 for the first time, and I did Returnal. And ever since Returnal, I have probably purchased 3 or 4 roguelikes, and roguelikes have actually become one of my favorite style of games. The reason why I'm saying that is there's a very high possibility that after I beat Stranding and I pay attention to the story and I really like take everything that it has to offer, from the music to the story to the writing to everything, there's a very high possibility that when I get my PS5 again, I return to the new God of Wars. And because like the one thing that turned me off from those was how much dialogue and how much cutscenes and how, you know what I'm saying? But I'm the type of gamer that if I play and it really sucks me in, I will try to enjoy that same thing that game gave me in other games like the God of War, and maybe I'll hit up a Final Fantasy and really try to like play a fantasy, and that's why I like the type of gamer I am, because I'm not just like in my ways. I do evolve over time. It just sometimes just takes that one game to make me evolve. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And this is another great example. So right now on the screen, you guys are seeing Redacted. And this is a roguelike game. Literally, if you've played Hades, this is it. This is Hades, but different IP. And I don't normally play those games because it's usually lacking in story. But what Redacted does that Hades didn't do and a lot of roguelikes don't do is that this is coming off the Callisto Protocol IP. I've beaten Callisto Protocol a couple times. I've also beaten the DLC, and I know the story of that game. I know the characters of that game. I've been there with the realistic visuals, right? So I have all that in the back of my mind. So when I'm playing Redacted, I can pull from that previous game because of the story and everything else. So now I'm more involved. This kind of goes into hand in hand with the whole RPG. What's the name of the game that bombed with Sony recently? The live service one,
Concord.
Concord. This also goes into Concord a little bit, where I you can do this with. There's a way to get players like me into the live service, you know, world. And I one of the things I said, if Concord would have, instead of doing those anime shorts in their game to kind of give you the story, if they would have done a single player campaign, a very short one, DLC length, 2, 3, 4 hours, it would have done way more for the game than those anime clips. Because look, we do it, we see it all the time, right? On the state of plays, on the Xbox showcases, video game awards, summer game fest, when they announce these games, what's the first fucking thing everybody's saying? Where's the gameplay? Where fuck this ain't the movies? Why are they even showing trailers for the fucking movie? They're showing trailers for the fucking movie because it's a movie based off of fucking IP, dumbass. I can't stand those fucking guys. Like, bro, stop fucking acting holier than thou with fucking gaming. Like, I like it when they show fucking trailers for movies based off, a game IP. I like it when they show us new hardware, new colorways. Like that all is evolved with gaming. I just don't understand why people are acting like so fucking prissy about it. Shut the fuck up and enjoy the show. Besides the point. But yeah, so that game brought a lot over from Callisto Protocol, and now I can play the roguelike elements of it and really get into it because I know the background of the story. I know why this prison guard is trying to get to the last shuttle. I can, understand why the monsters are the way that they are and what they're doing there and why they react the way they do. And I'm also looking forward to going back to the Callisto Protocol. I don't know when I'll get back to it, but I definitely want to play it again. And who knows? Maybe when I get a pro, maybe it'll be the perfect time to replay it again and get that bump if it's one of the games that got that pro enhanced. RPG, you back with us, bro? Maybe not. RPG, Chef fixing his headset real quick.
Can you hear me?
There you go. Hey, buddy.
Hey, yeah, I had to change headsets. The pulse was not agreeing with being plugged into the controller for some reason.
Really?
Like it did not like being hardwired. The mic was not working. Maybe some type of setting in my PlayStation though I haven't checked out.
Wait, the Pulse? The Pulse Elite?
Yeah, Pulse. Yeah, the Pulse, because that's the one you said I was crackling on, and I had it Bluetooth. So I decided to hardwire it, and it was just not working.
Oh, you're talking about the OG Pulses?
Yeah, the old G Pulses.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
I got
you
my
sound
Steel
good.
Series out now.
You sound good, man.
But yeah, you were talking about Concord, the one that bombed live
Yeah.
service. I was
Yeah.
trying to reply, but I knew you couldn't hear me because I wasn't even lighting up in the party chat. So I was like, my mic's fucked.
Yeah, Concord. But yeah, man. So there's just the gaming industry needs to. I know, and look, I don't know if we've had this conversation here on the show, but we've seen the conversation happen where people's like, I want new IP, because they're so tired of the part fucking
Remakes.
7 and the remakes and all this shit. But I think that the gaming industry would do better if they just take those IPs and branched out with them. Look at a tree. You have the freaking stump all the way up. You got a million different branches. Why not? Look at Marvel Universe, DC Universe. There's just so much that you can do. And I think that they don't necessarily have to do new IPs all the time if they did the remake, not the remakes, but if they did these games and were more imaginative with their story and how things tie up together. And people like that shit, man. I mean, how many people watch season fucking 57, with 40 episodes each season of One Piece or something like that, They like shit like that.
I don't
So-
think I've watched a single episode of one.
I don't watch any anime, but it's just an example.
A little bit.
Yeah, I don't want. I watched the Cyberpunk one on Netflix, and I recommend that.
That one was long. I really like that one.
Yeah, that was really dope.
That League of Legends one is real good too.
Oh yeah, it's called I forget, but yeah, I think I
Arcane.
watched a couple of Arcane. Yeah,
It's Arcane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I need
watched-
to watch that one.
Very good.
I've never played League of Legends before. Well, that's a PC stuff, but have you guys played League of Legends?
No.
I just they came out with like a mobile version of it. I just played the mobile version of it.
Mm. Well, guys, let's talk about
But
Death Stranding.
it's like-
Even though we have been talking about Death Stranding, but let's get into the news of Death Stranding of the week. So I think it was, what was it, Brett? Was it Thursday? I think it was that Death Stranding came over to Xbox. Thursday?
A ghost release on Thursday.
Yes, Thursday.
Yep.
So for you guys that don't know, Death Stranding fucking came out of nowhere and released on Xbox, and we found out that Kojima bought the IP back from Sony, Because if you guys didn't know, at the time, Kojima had just left Konami. Sony dumped a bunch of money over on Kojima's lap to start him up again because he basically had to start from zero. And he started the Kojima production, which I think is the best thing he could have done because the dude is, I don't care
Yep.
the criticisms that people have about him, and I agree with a lot of those criticisms. But at the end of the day, dude is a beast at what he does. And it's the best thing they could have done. So Sony jumped right in the opportunity. Bam. They had a relationship for many, many years, for decades. It just made total fucking sense. And in return, well, Sony wanted a freaking game. You know, I mean, what else is Sony gonna want? His first fucking child? I don't think he has children. But yeah, so a game. And out of that came out Death Stranding. And Death Stranding did okay. It didn't really do huge numbers, but it also didn't do poor numbers. And I think Death Stranding has gotten more popular as Kojima's legend has grown. And now, today, Death Stranding is available on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Mac. It's available, I think, on Android. It's available on Xbox. I think it's available on everything, PC, except for the Nintendo. But one of the biggest things that people are saying, I mean, I'll give you both sides, right? So, and by people, I mean like Xbox fans and PlayStation fans, right? Xbox fans are saying, I keep saying Xbox. Xbox fans are saying, oh, look at Sony going third party. We're getting the games, but this isn't a PlayStation first party game anymore. And it really wasn't. It was a PlayStation second party game. But Kojima went ahead.
It was just a Sony exclusive there for a little bit.
Yes.
That was the biggest thing.
Yes. Kojima did buy the IP from PlayStation back, and he did what he wanted with it. So, we'll start with RPG. Xbox. RPG. Is PlayStation going third party because Kojima put out Death Stranding on Xbox?
Absolutely not.
I mean, there's other reasons, right? Tell them, RPG.
There's other reasons, but the fact that Kojima's game is his Death Stranding game is ending up on Xbox. Well, he was already making this game that was its code name OD or its official name is OD or whatever. He's making that game with Xbox right now, or he's in the process of making it. We've heard about it for years. So he's already been working with Xbox. This game going to Xbox, to me, that is him getting back his IP and giving it to more places. Where's the last place in the final resting place that he launched that game?
Yeah.
It was Xbox.
Yeah.
It launched on PlayStation, and then it launched on PC, and then it was on Apple, and then it was on Android, and now it's on Xbox. It is that he's got his own little waterfall tier step process, because before it ever went to PC, it ended up on PlayStation Central Extra, PlayStation Plus, basically. And then it went to PC. So, him going, or, the Sony thing going third party, I don't see. When Sony goes third party, if they ever do, is when they go third party with PC, or they go day and date with PC, and they go day and date with Xbox, which I don't see. I could be proven wrong. Well, time will tell if I get proven wrong on that one. But Kojima's Death Stranding going to Xbox is not a Sony's going third party. That's it. Just throw your brand new Pros in the trash. Throw your Xboxes in the trash. Buy you a PC or a Fire Stick or cloud game or whatever. That's not where we're headed. Not anytime soon.
Yeah. And Brett, we know that you want games everywhere. You don't care for exclusives. But is this PlayStation going third party?
No. Absolutely not. No, I don't. The fact that anybody would tie these two things together, especially when it comes out that he bought, because here's thing. This is the first time me hearing that he bought the IP back. So the fact that he bought the IP from PlayStation and then released it on Xbox is means that Sony no longer, I would imagine, right? Sony no longer owns the rights to the game, so they could put it anywhere he wants. Now, I don't think it's going third party, but I think what RPG said, or I think Sony going third party is when they release day and date on PC and day and date on Xbox. Would that typically mean that Xbox isn't third party either because they don't really release? I mean, Call of Duty, shit like that, yeah, but none of their actual games that they've been creating outside of buying these studios are going to PlayStation day one either. In terms of third party, I think they're sort of already there. And I say that as soon as they announced that whatchamacallit was going to Switch on day one. So
Horizon.
and that's why Horizon's going straight day one, and then like you said, like they'll add, like a lot of people are assuming that they're going to add their live service titles to PC on day one, and then keep their kind of single player story games to PlayStation for. I mean, obviously nobody knows the time frame of that because it obviously keeps changing with like Spider-Man go in early as they did, which nobody was expecting. I think there's a lot going on I think a lot of it is speculation at this point. But one thing I could say for sure is Death Stranding going to Xbox. In no way does it correlate with Sony or PlayStation going third party. Like that's just what it is at the end of the day.
Here's
Yeah.
the biggest takeaway I have from Death Stranding going to Xbox, and my ultimate view about it.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yep.
good.
Yeah. Oh my
Go-
God.
go to
Because
Xbox.
now I get to enjoy it.
Exactly, and you get to enjoy. You get to enjoy the what is it called, the director's cut, and you get to
Yeah,
enjoy
yep,
that for
yep.
$20. You are
20,
getting
yeah.
a 60. You're getting a 60-hour game if you do like fucking literally everything in that game, and you're getting that for $20 as a great
Yep.
game. And I hope
Now here-
people like you and other fellow like Xbox only or Xbox main people, they go out and they buy this game. They go out and play this game instead of sitting on Twitter, sitting on their YouTubes, sitting in their little echo chambers, just talking shit about, oh, this is just a walking simulator.
No,
Get out there
that's fun.
and try
It's
the
mad
fucking
fun.
game.
But look, let's
Now,
be real.
here's a question
We
I-
know
I have.
Xbox guys ain't gonna buy the fucking game anyway. Sorry to cut you off, bro. What were you gonna say?
Do you think this might mean that Death Stranding 2, because we know it's done, do you think that comes to Xbox day one?
No.
With what happened with, you don't think so?
No, not at all. No, there'll be a
No.
point of exclusive.
Yeah,
Look,
there's
place-
going
Now, do you
to
think
be
it
an
will be this
exclusivity window.
long? Do you think it'll be this long?
No,
'Cause the first one came
out when?
it'll be
Forever
about a
ago.
year and a half, 2 years before you guys get it. Maybe even a
I
year.
would say 18 months. Is,
Yeah.
If they're not going to do any additional DLC or anything like that, I would say
Right,
18 months is as soon as I would see this game from the day that it launches. So say it's going to launch July of 2025. Let's just throw it down there. I don't see it coming out until January of 2027.
And look, and I want to say something real quick because people forget at the end of the day, PlayStation is a greedy piece of shit. All right. The only reason they sold this fucking game back to Kojima is because PlayStation sucked the shit out of this IP as much as they fucking could. To the point where they put it on PS Plus and they finished draining the last bit of blood they could out of it. And then they said, all right, Kojima, here you go. You can have your fucking IP back. Because best believe if Kojima went up to them year one of Death Stranding, wanted to buy this shit back, that relationship would have went real fucking sour. Because Sony would have been like, "Fuck no." All right, so let's fucking do that. That is also the same reason why this fucking game, the second one, Death Stranding 2, will not go to Xbox or any other um platform day one. Because Sony wants that sweet little fucking, jizz day one for their own fucking hardware as much as possible, especially with the Pro being out. And look, you can't blame them for that, right? They're the ones who fucking gave Kojima the fucking helping hand to get him going back up again, right? And the Japanese are big on loyalty. I wish we had that here, but they're big on loyalty, so they know how to play the fucking game. But also with games, because the conversation got started with is Death Stranding, is that signifying that PlayStation's going third party? And no, the answer is no. But then we take a look at all the other shit, right? Horizon, Lego, which I got pre-ordered. I'm picking up day one on Thursday. I'm excited for that. I'm gonna co-op it with my son. Why is that coming out day one on Switch everywhere but the everywhere but the Xbox? Fucking shit. Everywhere but the Xbox.
You know why? You know why?
Go ahead.
Purely the number of people that are going to buy it.
Yes. Yes.
Look at how many fucking people, how many Switches are out there, how many active Switches are out there, versus the Xbox One and the Xbox Series console player base. And the fact that it's not going into a subsystem like Game Pass, it's not going to sell over there. It's not worth the money to fucking waste importing the game over there.
Not even Xbox first party games sell over at Xbox. I mean, it's just common sense.
Well, no, because everything goes into Game Pass. Why would you fucking buy a game when you can rent the game for $20 a month?
Even all the achievements for Battlefield Black Ops are rare on Xbox right now.
Oh yeah.
Even Halo Infinite, even those are fucking rare over on Xbox. It's like the customer base just ain't there. Those are all arcade gamers. Not all, but it's a big portion of the gamers over there are arcade gamers. They don't give a fuck about 90% of the games. They just want the live service shit, basically. They want the arcade games with no story. They just want the gameplay mechanics, and even then, it's hard to get those guys to game over there. So shout out to the dude who talked shit on my video about, which thank you all. I'm over 2,500 views on that one. Where I did a comparison between the PlayStation UI and the Xbox UI, and I said that the Xbox UI is very, I don't know why I keep saying UI, but UI, it's very clunky. It's not clunky, but it's very, it's there's a lot going on. It's kind of hard to traverse it. Like me being a first time Xbox owner, it was kind of hard for me to figure out where to go for shit. Where PlayStation should way simpler. I hit R1, I switch over to the entertainment side of things with like YouTube, all the apps. L1 is the fucking video game shit. But he tried to say your point is stupid because Xbox gamers don't need that. They just need the first 3 or 4 or the first row of shit because it's all the game shit and they're gamers. And I was like, no, the fuck they're not. They're not buying games. They're not playing games. They're not subscribed to Game Pass. So what the fuck do they have an Xbox for? For YouTube, for Netflix. That's what the fuck they have it for. Not everybody, because you got people like Brett that actually plays games. But a big portion of them do. So when I do talk about the fucking UI, yes, it fucking pertains to you. And another thing, FYI, it's very rare, and the reason I'm saying very rare is because this is based on the information I've gathered from people such as RPG, Nelson, all my friends on the Discord, all these guys, based on their gaming habits. It is rare that somebody says, I don't use my PlayStation or I don't use my Xbox for anything other than gaming because I don't want to put miles on it. It's very rare I hear that. The opposite is generally true. where most people use their PlayStation as an entertainment console, meaning they are watching Netflix, they are watching YouTube. There's a reason why the fucking media remote for PlayStation was in the top 20 of fucking sales for like the first 2 years of the PlayStation 5 release. People use the PS5, people use the Xbox for more than just gaming. I talked about this last week or the week before, where for the PS2, I gave my family a huge ass presentation, or at least tried to. And my presentation was telling them, look, mom, dad, it's not just for me gaming. We can watch DVDs, we can listen to music. It's more of a family thing. We can leave it in the living room. I had no intention of sharing that shit, but I was saying whatever the fuck I had to say to have them buy it for me, you know? And that has stayed with me. I have never, ever in my life purchased. Okay, I'm lying. I did buy one for my room upstairs for the TV upstairs. But besides that, I've never bought a DVD player. I've never bought a Blu-ray player. I never bought like a home CD player, none like that. None of that shit. The most I bought is like a Bose speaker system, so I can, or at the time was you plug in your iPod, and you can listen to music. That's the most I've done. Now that we switched to the phone, we'll have different shit for that. But I've never been part of that enthusiast group that had to go out buy the newest DVD or Blu-ray player because I always had my PlayStation. I've always had my PS2, my PS3, even the PS1. From day one, it was an entertainment system. So that fucking argument is shut the fuck up. It's invalid. You're fucking stupid. Even non-gamers like my buddy's wife, she doesn't game at all. At all. Maybe she might put like Pac-Man or something, but at all. But guess what? They use the PlayStation, the PS4 for YouTube, Netflix, the whole 9 yards. I don't know where the
Dude,
fuck I talked about that.
I used to hook up my cable box to my Xbox One. So the Xbox One had two HDMI ports in the back of it, and one was obviously to connect to your TV, and like there was an extra one where you were able to hook up like your cable box or something else. So turning on my Xbox, I'd be able to operate, basically watch my cable provider through my Xbox, and then so like the only thing I don't use my Xbox for, and I'm not gonna lie to you, is for YouTube. Yeah, and that's because half the time I'm using YouTube for gaming, and I'm basically searching at the time that I'm in the middle of playing said game.
Hmm.
So music, Netflix, like I have Spotify on it. There's a lot of times I have my headset hooked up and I have my everything coming through my headset, my game sound and everything, and I just turn my game sound down to the point where I could semi hear it because it's hard for me to play games with absolutely no sound. And then I have my Spotify blaring in my
Yeah.
ears. I watch all my subscriptions, all my video subscriptions on Netflix. Like it is my primary source of my everyday main entertainment, even outside of gaming.
Yeah.
It honestly is.
Yeah, I turn my
Absolutely is.
PlayStation on every day, even though my intention may not be gaming. Like yesterday,
Yeah.
I had my PlayStation 5 on all fucking day, and if I got more than 3 hours of gaming, 2 hours of gaming, I'd be surprised. Because I was on Netflix or YouTube watching documentaries, listening to music, doing all sorts of shit. Talking to RPG. I talked to RPG yesterday for like an hour and a half without even fucking playing the game. Just on the chat, talking to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
and what did I say during that stream last night? I told you when I come home and I do all of my shit that I need to do, walk the dogs, pick this up, pick that up. I'm sitting down in my chair at like 5 o'clock
mm-hmm.
in the afternoon, and I'm sitting in that bitch until 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter. Like I could be gaming anywhere at night from 2 to 4 hours. Generally, if I'm running a 4 hour game stream, it's usually going to be on Call of Duty or some big story driven game. Like if Ragnarok just released, yeah, I'm probably going to be playing Ragnarok for a good 4 hours. But then I'm going to use that last 30 minutes. Like I'm going to bed. I'm going to use the last 30 minutes. I'm going to switch over to YouTube and I'm going to watch a couple of shorts. I'm going to watch Will's latest mail call video or his game collection video, and I'm going to go through and see what he's got going on. I'm going to check up on other podcasts or just some random two guys in the middle of the jungle building huts out of mud and shit. So it's
Yeah,
used,
hell yeah.
dude. Those videos are so fucking cool.
Which
But
ones?
They are,
you know,
they are cool.
we use our consoles for different things. It's not just games,
Yeah.
but our consoles, you know, like the PlayStation, I would say, was not solely sold TV, 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 TV. They came out and they sold it on the games. They let the games do the talking. And I think that hurt the Xbox One a lot at the beginning. And I think that's what that UI was basically built around with the Xbox One and why he changed a little bit in the Series X, but not much because I mean you can look at both UIs and go, yeah, they're pretty similar.
Yo, bro, you're pretty good at this game you're playing. I'm not even kidding. Sorry to cut you off, but god
So-
damn, when you just did that, I was
So Brett, did you see that last guy I just
Yeah.
fought?
yeah, dude,
So-
that was insanity.
So check this out. That guy I just fought was me from a previous run that died. What does that remind you of?
Previous run that you just died.
It's me, but I died in a previous run, so I'm fighting myself. But dead.
I played a game where that happens.
Yeah, Returnal, dude.
Yeah, that is exactly where it happens. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this game has that.
Oh my.
And then you get
Holy shit.
extra perks for beating him. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And going back to the topic that I was actually talking about, remember while PG was talking. So Horizon, why is it coming to Lego? Because Horizon's a huge IP. We're talking 2 games, close to 40 million sold. I mean, they've done fucking. I have it right here. It's the Horizon Lego fucking tall neck. So that IP is just gonna blow up. So it just makes perfect fucking sense to bring it out everywhere but Xbox. And then
that's advertising.
exactly. That's definitely worth it. And plus it's a partnership between Lego. Who else has a partnership between Lego? Fucking Fortnite. So a lot of
Everybody
people
wants a partnership with Lego.
absolutely. The main one out of that I can say has some sort of credence of it going one way or another is a Spider-Man 2 PC release. I mean, that thing got announced 12 months after release on the PS5, and then 15 months is going to be on PC. No DLC for the PS5 gamer, none of that shit that people were really looking forward to and that people were expecting, specifically based on the leaks from Insomniac earlier this year. So, what else does PlayStation have that is kind of giving people third-party vibes? Can't think of anything else. Oh, let's look at that Dustin the Legary fucking tweet that he put up that I shared on the Discord, because he has a whole list, and that's when I told you, Brett, that it's not what it really seems.
Right. Yeah.
What's the other one? Here, I'm looking at our.
Helldivers?
Oh, Helldivers, Day and Date on PC.
Helldivers 2.
Here's the thing. Listen. Here's the thing, guys. We could sit here and talk about Xbox people don't buy games, right? All we want, but I can promise you.
Oh wait,
I
hold
can
up, Brett.
just
Time out.
guarantee it.
Time out.
Okay.
Time out real quick.
Go ahead.
RPG, I'm sorry I didn't see your message. You want to test? Or
Yeah,
you good?
well, I've been talking for a while. Has it been?
I'm
as
so
bad-
sorry. No, it's been good.
has
You've
it
been
as
perfect.
bad? Okay, so it's
sorry.
better working when it's wired in.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
get it.
sorry.
I'll get it.
I'm sorry, Brett. Continue.
I think if Helldivers 2 sold on Xbox, it would sell.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. A lot of people think like Xbox gamers don't buy games, but that is just that's not true. The problem with Xbox gamers is not only the Game Pass mentality, but it just seems like people on Xbox are just like super selective with the games.
But
that
Brett,
they
it is a
purchase or
little
that they
true.
play.
It is a little true because we see the numbers. We see that third party sells the least on Xbox.
Well, we also have the least amount of consoles. So here's I look at it, right? So when people want to punch in the numbers and they're like, "Oh, Xbox players don't," so there are currently around what 50 million PS5s out
65,
there that people
close,
65 million,
yeah, close to
right?
70.
So
Yeah.
and there's about what 25 million Xbox Series consoles.
I think they're closer to
So
30 now.
how,
Yeah.
so how do you project what success on both consoles, but you hold them in the same regard as if they have the same
Because of
player numbers?
percentage base. So for example, 70 million, let's just for easy math, right? 70 million. If PlayStation comes out or if a third party game sells 1 million on PlayStation 5 with a 70 million base, but on Xbox with a 30 million base, just for easy math, right? 30 million, they sell 500,000. Well, on percentage base, the Xbox is doing better, even though they sold less. So that's how we can
Yeah,
judge, even though Xbox doesn't have 70 million, but we can tell based on the percentage, what's it called, RPG inception rate or something like that, or whatever rate it is, basically how based per available customer base, how many people are buying the game. So Xbox doesn't have to sell a million, 2, 3 million games in order to compete with PlayStation. The way they compete with PlayStation is saying, hey, y'all have 70 million, but you're only selling, 5% of your gamers, where we have 30 million, but we're selling 10% of our gamers. So now
right.
what developers are looking into making or porting their games over to the different console makers. Well, PlayStation obviously is going to be number one every single time because they just have the install base, the Switch as well. But Xbox, I mean, we've been seeing it specifically the last 6 months where we're starting to see developers coming out with their games on the other consoles and either postponing Xbox or just saying we're not putting it on Xbox completely. It's kind of rare when like what Kojima did, where after all this time they go back to Xbox. And I think at that point Kojima's just like, fuck it, we have the means to do it. Let's just fucking do it. Who cares if we only sell 20,000, because that's 20,000 more than we'd had before. And at $20, that's fucking coffee money. So why not? It's worth it. But a full blown production or a full blown like indie company, that's a huge risk for them. It's like, fuck, we can do this on PlayStation, and if we only sell 100 grand, that's okay. But in order for us to port it over to Xbox, it's gonna take us, I don't know, $2 million. That's 2 million that we don't fucking have. I always tell people, watch the docu series over on YouTube from what's their name? They just got bought by Xbox a couple years ago. What's their fucking name here? I have the game right here. Um, damn, they don't show their fucking name. The people who made Psychonauts,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
the
yeah.
developer
I don't
for
even know
that.
what development that is.
Um, oh, by the way, I got Psychonauts for the PS2, and man, this fucking case is so fucking clean. Sorry, I'm just kind of nammering over my collection real
Well,
quick.
Well, I have a question. I have a question, and
Oh
this isn't
shit.
really aimed at Brett or anybody, but it's kind of aimed
Yeah,
more
it
at
is.
the Xbox the
Say directly
Xbox.
towards me.
No, it's not, because you're buying your game, but this is
True.
more aimed at the Xbox Game Pass and the Xbox only console. Like they only own the Xbox console. They own a Series
Yeah.
S, or they own a Series X, or they've only owned a Xbox One, and they're like, "Fuck PlayStation," blah 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 blah. So let's say Spider-Man 3 comes out, right? The purely hypothetical world, right? Spider-Man 3 comes out, and Sony goes, "You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna do day and date. We're gonna do day and date on PC. We're gonna do day and date on Xbox." Just just purely hypothetical. Do you see the same requirements for the PSN on PC also being transitioned over to the Xbox? So you have to sign in. You have to have an active PSN login to be able to play Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
Do you think that would be a hang-up for the Xbox people, or is that only solely a hang-up for the PC-centric people?
I think so I would say it would not, because I think the way it works is anywhere you could buy a PlayStation console, you could buy an Xbox console, but it's not the same way for having a PC, right? Certain countries you can't have a PlayStation account, right? Which means that also I would imagine in countries they probably can't have an Xbox account. So the only issue I ever have with requiring a PlayStation account is when, like, the Helldivers situation, like, nobody fucking knew it was a thing, and then all these people went out, they bought this game on PC, they're loving the fucking game, and then Sony comes out and they're like, oh, by the way, I know you bought the game, but you're no longer going to be able to play it because you need a PlayStation Network account, like a PlayStation account, but you can't have a PlayStation account. Obviously, they registered or whatever, but it's me personally. I have a PlayStation account, so I wouldn't give it. I don't think anybody who has the opportunity to actually make one have a problem with it because it's easy. It's literally just like making an Xbox account. I don't understand why that's a problem outside of the areas where you just can't, unfortunately, fucking do it. But if you live somewhere where you can PlayStation account and it's a requirement to play a game and you want to play that game, why not just shut the fuck up and just easily make fucking a account? Who cares if people think it's to boost the numbers of PlayStation players? If you really want to play the game that fucking bad, if something that small that you could actually do is stopping you from being happy playing that game, you're a fucking moron. No offense. No offense, but it's just as easy as the Xbox account that these motherfuckers made. Just as easy as these Steam accounts that these motherfuckers made. Yeah. It's the same fucking process. I don't get it.
I completely agree with you. And the fact that PlayStation, like, overturned, and they're like, oh, well, we're now going to require a PSN account. And
yeah,
if you don't do that, then, you're not going to be able to play. And also, we're gonna wipe out all these countries that have access to the game, have had access to the game for 4 months. They're just not going to be able to play it now. I think that's bullshit. They did that strictly to get the game, stable to work.
Yeah.
And they should have just bit the fucking bullet and dealt with it. And all right, well, this is our one and only game. We're not going to let this happen again the next time. So Helldivers 3, this is going to be day one off the bat, and we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I don't think that they ever should have reversed that because the game was doing great up until that point. Once they started fucking with shit, watch the player count. It started
also, the nerfing.
massively.
The nerfing of that game also started happening around that time. And you guys are absolutely right. But this goes into a much deeper fucking discussion and just in gaming and period. Because FYI, for those of you guys that don't know, if you buy a Xbox first party game over on PlayStation, you need to fucking sign up. It's what's the name? The boat game, the fucking
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. Don't you need
you need a Microsoft account.
Yes, thank you, RPG.
No, I don't think you do. I think you need a Rare account for that instead, which is linked to
it's a Rare Microsoft account. I mean, I look at it the same way.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, Minecraft, you need a fucking account. My son has one, I have one, so I can play with him. So it's the same fucking shit. But that's not the problem. The real problem in this is fucking just these companies just want your fucking information and they'll do whatever it takes to get it. And to me, that's the much bigger issue. I don't give a fuck what they needed. We never had these fucking problems before, but also we didn't have games like how we got them before either. So it's just something new. I am big into ownership. That's why I try not to buy digital games. That's why I make a big stink about disk drives and shit, because physical, you will never be an owner. The ownership for you is out the fucking window, okay? You're never an owner of anything you fucking buy being a digital gamer. It's just simple. It's just facts. But these fucking accounts, in order to play games, like you guys have been saying, if you really wanted to play it, you wouldn't give a fuck. I think people are now just bitching about any little thing. Now, the one thing that I give credence to is the whole Helldiver situation. You already had the game. Now you want to add this fucking shit on there? That's a big fucking
Mm.
problem. You should just fucking eat it and do it different for the next fucking game.
Well, a lot of people bring up, well, it was in the fine print the entire time. That's fine.
Oh, it
Like
was.
well, yeah, it was a requirement from day one, but they
They just
turned
never
that
enacted.
ability off. They turned the ability off to get the game to actually run because they were having
Oh,
massive server issues. Remember, they only expected so many people. So let's say like 100,000 people.
yeah, they did.
Well, that number grew. That number grew to 200,000.
It's massive.
And
Oh
that's
man,
yeah, it was massive. It was like what a
Own
peak of
that game.
400 and like 450,000, I think, but it might have been more.
dude, no, it peaked out at
But
like 700K, I think.
yeah. So they were not fucking prepared, and they're like, we have to take this requirement off because it's causing some issues in the back end, and we got to strip this bitch down, and we have to go out there and we have to buy a shit ton of server space. So once they got all that figured out, got it stable enough, and let it ride for a couple months, somebody came in the office and was like, "Why the, where the fuck's my PSN data?
Yeah.
Where's my data for all my users? Like, I got over I had a peak of 700 fucking thousand people. Now I have a peak of, 300,000 people or 200,000 people. Where the fuck's my data?" And they're like, "Well, we turned that off back on day one, before the game even launched, or when the game launched day one, we turned that off. We just never turned it back on." So you're telling me for the last 4 or 5 fucking months, I have no fucking data on any of those PC guys?
The one thing that they've been working on and been, basically their main, research and development type of thing, where the PC, they're trying to get absolutely everything they can from them. And their biggest game, they didn't even fucking have it. So that must have been a kick in the nuts for the office.
Because you know what they're going to use that data for? They're going to figure out, is PC worth it?
Hmm. I don't think it
Is
is, but that's a me thing.
it
I think
is our
certain games
portion
it
of the game?
absolutely is.
Yeah.
It absolutely certain
Yeah. Live service
style games
games,
will
absolutely.
100% succeed over
Live
RPG.
service games,
Yes.
absolutely. First party,
No,
it
can't
depends
justify it.
on. Yeah, I don't see it. I see first party being the main seller of why the console fucking exists in the first place.
Yeah, it died. I think that it should go to PC, but it should go to PC later. It should even go to PC a whole console generation after. Once that fucking, once you're onto the new console, it, send it to PC. Those fucking guys, they're self-proclaimed. We'll wait. They say it themselves. And look at the numbers. The numbers also equate that. I mean, we're talking 30, 40K. We haven't had a PlayStation first party game do six figures or six digits on PC ever, unless I'm missing a game. But we've never had one ever, 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 ever. So even PlayStation is hemorrhaging sales on some of their games. Until Dawn remake, that thing is hemorrhaging sales out the fucking ass. So PlayStation needs to get their fucking head out of their ass. Anything else you guys want to talk about this? I want to keep it moving. I want to talk about the next subject, which is kind of in line with this, anyways. But anything else you guys have to say about this?
I want to bring up a
Great
quick
call.
question. I want to bring up a quick question to Iron Man. This is
Yep.
purely hypothetical. So you're enjoying your playing Death Stranding right now, and not to go back to the Death Stranding, but I just want a quick answer. So say you're playing Death Stranding, you end up beating Death Stranding, and you're really loving the story. The story really takes you back. With Death Stranding 2 coming out on the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Pro,
And it looks
you're
amazing.
like, and you like just you're fucking loving the game. Like you had a blast. You're like taken back. You beat the game. You're like, I can't fucking wait for the next. Is that a game that will bring you back into wanting to own a PS5, not a PS5 Pro, but just own a PS5.
Right.
Period.
Before you answer that, yes. Well,
Mm-hmm.
it's not even the Death Stranding thing. Brett's already trying to go back to PS5. It's just shit happening in his life. All right, Brett.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. So here's the thing, and I've said this many a times in a lot of discords that I'm in. There is no game in the world, no one specific game in the world that will ever make me want to purchase a console ever. And my two top favorite games of all time are PlayStation exclusives. Ghost of Tsushima, Returnal. Literally my two favorite games of all time. But I will be playing it because I will have a PlayStation 5 by then. I will just it. I will probably be most likely be purchasing the deluxe edition if it is enough. I'm actually looking forward to getting the PS5 and go back and playing a couple of games. I jump back into Ghost of Tsushima, the Legends multiplayer mode. I definitely need to beat Returnal. And that's the thing, I didn't even beat Returnal. It's still my favorite game of all time. Like, it's just that fun. Like, I've never enjoyed playing and running through it again ever, like, that much ever a day in my life. It's fun. It's fun. Graphics are peak. They're amazing. I'm looking forward to Ghost of Yosh, whatever the hell that
Yote.
game is.
Yote.
Yote. I'm looking forward to that. Like, I just like in video games, and if there's games that I can only play on PS, play on Xbox, you bet your ass I'm going to be playing them at some point. Just like if there's ever a specific game that's on Xbox that's not on PlayStation, I will be playing it. If I'm damn sure, I just like video games, and look forward to getting another PS5 and jumping back into a lot of those first party games. Rise of Ronin. I want to get back into Stellar Blade. I still need to beat the final boss. So yeah, I definitely purchased on consoles, and hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Brett. I'm with Brett. Look, I just want to say something real quick. Fuck PlayStation, you fucking nickel and diming piece of fucking shit. Oh, you're good, bro. Thank you for stopping, Hero. You can always watch the replay, bro. That's why we have YouTube. But thank you, bro. I appreciate you. But fuck PlayStation with their nickel and diming fucking mouthful of fucking cum. I like PlayStation. PlayStation is my preferred way to game.
That was hot.
Thank you, Hero. You know, I try to spice it up for the State of the Game podcast. Look, it's my preferred way of playing games. The DualSense is my favorite controller of all time. Of all time. I actually like the N64 controller a lot too. I know people, feel a little bit about that.
Dude, I'm so glad you said that.
Yuck.
That's amazing.
Yuck.
But
I fucking hated
So,
that
one
controller.
analog stick.
the
One
thing I
analog stick,
hated
let's go.
about the Nintendo 64 was the four corner yellow buttons. Like those, I fucking those were a fucking pain in the dick. They were underutilized. Like fuck you.
N64 controller was amazing.
Thank you, Hero. Hero's fucking right. So like that, I love a lot of shit. I think that the console is powerful. It plays games beautifully. It runs the apps great. I like GoldenEye fucking beastie. I would love to play that on the PlayStation. It's just a great console, man. It like I said this when the Pro first came out, and one of the
best first-person controller.
It was. That's a fact, Hero. That's a fact. One of the things that I said when the Pro came out is that the Pro coming out just really made me understand how much of a value the OG PS5 really is. Like that is such a tremendous value. And the reason I'm saying all this is because we've seen the last quarter fiscal numbers for PlayStation. And this quarter they made profit $900 million. And the Pro, they're actually making a lot of money off of it. It's one of the more profitable consoles. So when we talk about the Pro,
Yeah.
And some of the reasons of why I wasn't buying it was because of the value proposition. I think that with the Pro, you're looking at diminishing returns for what you're paying for it. And so that's where I'm at. And now that we know that there's money in the Pro, now I feel even more butthurt about the situation because I don't even want PlayStation to give it to me for free. I just wanted them to give me a little thank you for being a customer of ours. Now, if you're coming new into the PlayStation ecosystem and you're buying a Pro, you're not going to feel the same way that I feel because I have
The
purchased
Pro
the
is great,
OG.
but the standard PS5 is more than good enough.
Very good and exactly. But and I've said this a long time, all I wanted was the Pro with a disc drive at $749.99. That's all I wanted. But PlayStation said, no, fuck you. Not only are we making a shit ton of money on the Pro, but we're also gonna make a shit ton of money on your disc drive that we're gonna sell you. We're also gonna make shit ton of money on the stand that we're selling you. And FYI, guys, I just bought my disc drive last night. It's coming in the mail from GameStop. So I'm buying that because I got my 30th anniversary PS5 Slim coming and I don't even know
You
if I'm
didn't need
gonna.
to upgrade. It's a choice I am and I'm happy,
How
but it's
much did
very
that 30th
unnecessary.
set you back?
How much what?
How much did the 30th anniversary edition Slim set you back, if you don't mind me asking? Because
Five
I don't
hundred.
remember. Yeah, I don't remember the price because I wasn't even looking at them.
Yeah, I think it's. Let me just double check that number because I'm gonna play. I'm gonna be playing close to 700. But that's because um I
But
got
yeah, like
the
the base Slims, the digital Slims were like what 450 right now.
450. So you basically, yeah. Let me just check. I'm looking at the phone right now because if
And then
that number's right,
you would pay $50 for the
yeah,
gray plates and a stand.
yes. And the number or not the numbered, but all the little engravings and shit, and you also get
Yeah.
the
So
hookups
it's
and all
it's a
that.
$50 upcharge for the gray
Yes.
plates, the stand, and just being the 30th edition.
Yes, $50 up, exactly. $50 extra. So I don't even know if I'm even gonna open it. I don't even know if I'm gonna open it to be honest with you guys, but I did buy it or the disk drive just in
It's like
case
buying an iPhone Pro Max over an iPhone Pro.
because
The upgrade is visible but not actually necessary.
I have to so I'll give you guys an example. I went to Target last week. Whenever Ninja Turtle, so October. Damn, it wasn't last week. It was fucking October like 18th or something like that. Here, I'm sorry. I got to get my dates right. I'm sorry, guys. I got my list right here from games released. Uh,
Yeah, Shredder's Revenge or something like that.
Mutants Unleashed. So, yeah, October
Okay.
18th. So I went to Target and I saw they had like 4 disk drives there. Then like 3 days later, I stopped at or no, I'm lying. A week later, I stopped at Walmart to pick up some snacks for my weekend getaway that I did last weekend. And
Yep.
in Walmart they had like 3 or 4 disk drives there as well. Well, yesterday or the day before yesterday, I was on my phone. I checked. Oh, same thing. GameStop. I went to GameStop to pick up Dragon's Age because I got that used. They had 5 or 6 disk drives there. I checked on my phone. They were all sold out in store. So I couldn't just order and pick it up, which is what I normally do everywhere. Walmart, Target, all the Walmarts, all the Targets in my area, all the GameStops in my area. I texted my buddy who runs a GameStop and he said, yeah, we sold out because of the Pro. The Pro came out. So I was like, fuck, my money's about to get taken out for the 30th anniversary. And I'm like, well, just in case I decide to open it, let me get a disc drive because if I don't have a disc drive, I won't be able to play my collection. So I
Yeah.
bought it. Better be safe than sorry. If I don't end up using it, I'll return the fucking disk drive or I'll sell it to somebody, because I'm thinking the disk drive's still gonna be hot throughout the season, the holiday season. I don't think things are gonna get to normal retail wise till at least the beginning of the year. So worst case scenario, I put it up on eBay for $80, exactly what I paid for it. The person pays for the shipping and I get rid of it if I change my mind on it. But so that's why I bought it. But people, I think it was War One who said, well, if you already got the disc drive, doesn't that take care of your PS5 Pro situation of you having to spend $810 to get the stand and the disc drive? I'm like, no, it fucking doesn't. It doesn't.
No, because it's still $108 or it's still $810 at the end of the day.
Exactly. And even
You have to buy a stand if you want to stand.
yes, and even the stand, and I do want to stand. I don't want my shit to just be standing there without the fucking stand. I know that it doesn't move, but you fucking never know. I have a child. My child just the other day, it was fucking 11 o'clock at night, and he's running from his room, jumping on the couch, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I got a lot of energy. Like, okay, well, stop jumping on the fucking couch. But all it takes is for him to be like, hey, dad, look at this. One of them stupid tricks that they do that they think is a fucking, fucking Olympic grade fucking trick, but it really is just them jumping off the ground for 3 centimeters. All it takes for him to do one of those and he knocks the thing over or has more of a chance to get knocked over. Or me, who it's dark and I stumble into something and I knock it over. The stand gives me more of a chance for that not to happen. And so no, it doesn't take away from it. But the real reason is because I feel Sony has been nickel and diming me. And we find out that they're making great money off of this. Mind you, if you buy a digital or if you buy a PS5 Slim with a disc drive, you pay 500. If you buy the digital, you pay 450. So even then, PlayStation is giving you a price discount of $30 from you buying the disc drive on its own. So if you buy a PS5 Slim digital right now, you pay 450, and let's say 6 months later you're like, oh fuck, I really want a disc drive. You go out and buy it, you got to pay 80. So that's 500, 10, 20. That's $530 that you've invested into your PS5 Slim by not buying a PS5 Slim with a disc drive. If you go right now and buy it, you only pay 500. That's the kind of deal I wanted from the Pro. But PlayStation said, no, fuck you. Not only are we not going to sell you the disc drive at the same $30 discount that we're doing with the Pro, we're also going to take the stand away and make you pay $30 for that. And that is the thing that really irks me with the Pro. So I think I told this, was it to you yesterday? Yeah, it was RPG yesterday where I said, you know what? I may even get a Pro, but if I do get it, I'm going to buy a pre-owned. I'm gonna buy it from somebody that had it used. I just don't want to give PlayStation my money. They rubbed me the wrong way. I've been selling my plates on eBay. I sold my camo plates. I sold my purple plates, and I'm gonna put the rest up. I got 3 more plates. I'm gonna put those up for sale. They rubbed me the wrong way completely. I am completely turned off on them. I did my PlayStation 5 maintenance video on YouTube where I swap out the plates to the silver and I do my little cleaning on the PlayStation. I regret that because I just opened the silver plates for that video where I should have kept them sealed and I would have got more money for them. But I'm just completely turned off of it, 100%. I've never buy third party. What's up, Tool Man? I never buy third party anything for PlayStation. Anything. Everything that I have for PlayStation came from PlayStation. The only third party thing that I bought was the skin for my Portal, and that's only because PlayStation doesn't even have anything available for that. And then I think it was you that brought it up, or I forgot who brought it up. It may have been URPG or whoever. Like, oh shit, you can get this combo kit on PlayStation where you get like a case, a skin, screen protector. I think it was like $70 or something like that. I was like,
that wasn't me. That was me.
That was you?
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, that wasn't you? I think it was a retro.
Yeah, I don't have the Portal, so I don't know anything on.
What's up, Tool Man? Yeah, I think it was Retro who said that. So I was like, oh shit, my interest peaked right away. I almost ordered it.
RPG.
I almost bought it just because it's a PlayStation OEM part, you know? And at the very last minute, I was like, you know what? I don't need it. I only game on the Portal when I go on vacation or something like that. And occasionally I work on my lunch break. It's just not enough. I already have something for it that's good enough. But I was like this close. And I've been that way. Whether I want it or not, I usually buy it for the collection. That fucking Fortnite controller that I bought, I still haven't even unboxed it yet. I'm going to return it this week. I'm going to take it out the box to show my son because my son does play Fortnite once in a while, the Lego stuff. And if he wants it for him, then I'll keep it for him. But if he doesn't, I'm going to send that shit back. And that's what PlayStation has done to me.
He's gonna want it.
Actually, you'd be surprised. He would say no, but we'll see. But so that $30 And I was on RPG yesterday. This year alone, I bought. I was looking at my numbers. I spent $400 on PlayStation accessories. Last year, I spent $350 on PlayStation accessories. The year before that, I spent like $225 on PlayStation accessories. So just since 2020, I spent close to $1,500 on PlayStation accessories, plates, controllers, fucking anything that they come out with, I buy. The last 4 years, they're gonna come out with more shit over the next 4 years. They just lost that from me, all because they couldn't give us $30 for a fucking um disk drive. $30 is gonna cost PlayStation 1,500, and that's just not smart business. And right now, I'm speaking emotionally, of course, but that's all it takes. Sometimes is the one thing. People that are trying to quit something, whether it's cigarettes, alcohol, fucking Twinkies, where you eat too many Twinkies, all it takes is for something to go in your brain that says, I'm done with this. And it happens. I tell people all the time, if you have family that, are addicts, substance abuse or something like that, if I have in my family, I got numerous people in my family who are addicted to something. And there's been numerous times that we try to take them for help, right, to a rehab place or something like that. We all get together, we pool our money to get them to help, and it never works because they wanna they themselves wanna get clean. And we have learned our lessons, like stop spending money to get them help when they don't want it. Whenever they do, then we can get behind them and really encourage them. So
Who
with the
is
whole
right?
PlayStation thing, that's it. That's the final fucking straw. That's not even including the we can no longer get discounts. If you're a PS Plus subscriber right now and Black Friday is in 2 weeks and they do a 40% off, you will not be able to buy that. You can't. So my shit expires literally Black Friday.
Tomorrow.
That's when the shit expires for me because I bought mine last Black Friday. I will not be able to. I have to wait till my shit lapses, and even then, I'm not sure if it's only for new customers or people that just aren't subscribed. So that's another fucking thing. The plates for the Pro.
Hey
I
bro.
I like my accessories. I like switching the colors out. If it looks cool, it feels cool, it adds to my collection, so I'm happy about that. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to invest in PlayStation anymore. I'm literally just using them for the fucking games. That's it. And even then with the fucking games, with Spider-Man only being 12 months out or 15 months out, now I'm like, okay, are they going to continue this route? Because as much shit as I talk about PC and as much anger and rage I have with PC, like when I try to set up my shitty PC for my son to play a fucking 12-year-old game on Steam, that took 12 hours with all the updates and shit. As much rage as I have against it, logically it just makes sense to go that route. Me and RPG were talking about it yesterday. PlayStation first party games are going to go there. Xbox games are already there. You're already going to get Steam games. And then you can also get Nintendo games, maybe not the legal way. So you're able to get games from every single console out there. And what, $1,500 will get you going on something pretty decent? And people talk shit about the Pro, and people talking or saying that you can't build a PC for $700. You can build a PC for $700. You just can't get the monitor and everything else with it. But you can build something low tier, or not completely low, but something a little bit above low tier, not mid tier, but something above low tier that will play a big portion of games at least 40, 50 frames, 60 frames, and plug it into the TV. The monitor is usually something that's super expensive. A lot of console gamers already have a nice TV because we want that 120 hertz. We want the refresh rates of VR. We want all that stuff. So what's to stop me from just saying, fuck you? I'm going to take that 700, add another 100 on top of it because that's what I have to pay for the Pro anyways, right? With a disk drive and stand, I'm at 110. Then another fucking $180 a year for PS Plus. I'm already at $1,000. So why not just take that $1,000 and stick it into something where I can play games from everywhere? I'm not there yet. Obviously, I'm not there yet because exclusive still exists for the PlayStation. I still have to wait a year. I'm not waiting a year to play Spider-Man 2. Fuck no. Or Spider-Man 3 or Wolverine or whatever. I'm not waiting shit. I'm gonna get that bitch day one. But eventually, when they make that transition, because they fucking will, because it's a corporation, then that's going to be my time to fucking exit. And all the decades that I've been with PlayStation are going to be nothing but good memories, or and some bad. But we have to look at things logically, guys. We can't just fucking be and even Nelson. I just talked to Nelson. We beat the solo DLC on, I think it was Thursday, before he went on this hunting trip. And I was fucking with him and saying, "Oh, you're a fucking pony, whatever, right?" I'm a pony too, FYI. I was like, "Oh, you're a pony," and then I was like, "Say something bad about PlayStation right now," and he stuttered. He couldn't think of anything for like 50 seconds. Finally, he said, "Oh, on the PS5 Pro, I don't like that they took away the USB-A, even though it's just." And even then, he tried to justify it, right? Which it is a good justification. It's USB-C is faster. All the new shit is USB-C, but he still has USB-A shit that he had a setup for. But that was his complaint. I'm like, it took you one whole minute to think of something negative to say about PlayStation. We talk shit about bots all the fucking time. How they don't buy games, all this shit, right? How they're on Phil's dick, just begging for Phil to fucking insert it in their pooper shooter. Ponies are the exact fucking way. The only difference is that PlayStation actually has some fucking bangers. That's it. And communications are different. But ponies and bots, they're not that very fucking different. They both fucking bat for the home team. And look, I'm part of it too, guys. I post shit. My channel's primarily PlayStation. Every time I make a video, I do a hashtag PlayStation. I'm right there with y'all. But we have to call out the bullshit when it happens. We cannot defend it like how some people do defend the fucking Pro taking away the stand, the Pro taking away the disk drive, and then selling everything back at you at retail. Because when we don't call them out, I'll say those last thing and then I'll pass it back to you guys.
Yeah.
The same thing that we're doing now is the same thing we told bots to do years ago. If you would have spoke up and said something to Phil in 2012, maybe things will be different now. This is our time. If we don't speak up and say something now, we're going to be like the bots were a decade ago, a decade from now. You be the fucking judge. I'm sorry for taking so long, guys. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Brett.
I don't have anything to say in this topic. You go right ahead.
When it comes to the fanboy situation, whether it be the Xbox guys or the Sony guys, it's the same. They're two different sides of the same coin. Whether it be true fanboys or it be the toxic fanboys, they're both. When you get those two extremes or those two similars, they're the exact same coin, just two different sides. I see it on Twitter. I don't go on Twitter and I don't make comments on people's posts because I don't have the time to deal with some retarded ass comment back and get into a 50 post long discussion, because usually when I go on Twitter, I'm looking at Twitter for 2 minutes while I'm on my lunch break.
Will, you are not wrong in everything you've said.
I don't have time. And when
Everything.
I'm home, I'm not going to sit there with my phone in my face scrolling through Twitter. No, I'm going to be sitting in my chair. I'm going to be playing my games.
Will, you are not wrong in everything you've said.
Damn, I need to take that audio shit off. I had it for my VR streams. But yeah, look, man, I've been going hard on PlayStation recently, and a lot of it is emotional, right? Just some of the things I'm saying don't even have logic to it. Some of the things can be justified, and I understand that, right? But I'm human as well, and I feel this way. And like I mentioned earlier, I've already spent $1,500 just on accessories, not even including even the PS5 when I got it.
Only gamer. Plug and play. I know I won't go PC, but I will go Mac Mini
and Hero, and I understand the whole plug and play thing, but with technology, as it goes on, PC eventually is gonna be pretty damn close to plug and play as well. I mean, there's gonna be so many updates and so many upgrades going on in those things that it's not gonna be completely like a console, but it's also gonna be way simpler than it is now. But even when I don't know about you guys, but when I bought my PS5, I got it as a bundle from GameStop because that's all they had available. So even when I bought my PS5, I paid $800 for it. It came with 2 controllers, a copy of Spider-Man Miles Morales. It came with, Spider-Man the PS5 version. It came with a $20 PlayStation gift, digital gift card. It came with a whole bunch of shit, and that's what they were doing back then, right? They were bundling everything because the PlayStation was so hot. So even at the way this generation started off, it was bundling, trying to get as much money as they possibly could, scalpers, people just paying over everything. So I don't know if that has to do with the psychology of the gamer of today and defending fuckery that these console manufacturers make, but man, remember the PS3 days when they announced that fucking $600, was it 600 RPG or 500?
Yeah, it was $600, and I'm so glad that I was off on other adventures and not gaming
Yeah, me
back
too.
because I remember when that $600 price dropped, and I was like, yeah, well, I'm not gonna buy that because I believe back then I can't remember exact year. What was that? 2000.
I spend a 2,000 to a 3,000 on average per year on gaming. I'm looking to pull back to a 1,000, circa a
It's been
600.
a long time ago, but I had other things on my mind to be very short and sweet.
Yeah,
So I didn't get into the PlayStation 3 era until like the last half of it, and that was the last half of it was the good half of it. That's when we had things like Uncharted, we had things like Last of Us, we had GTA 5 that was just coming out. We had all these big banger hits on the latter half of the PlayStation 3. So that's when I got into that. So the $600 was like, ooh, yeah, I'm not going to be doing that. And I ended up getting into the PlayStation 3 when it was at, I believe it was like $400 when they did their rehash or rebuys. They slimmed it all down and all that shit. But
yeah. I got into
my
it
first
early.
PlayStation, my first PlayStation 3
It's like a dog
was
chasing our
I
own
got one
tail.
from GameStop. They
Not
had the
worth it long
original
term.
flip tray
PlayStation is taking
with
us
all
for a
the little
ride, no
ports.
doubt.
So it was
I
the one
need
that was
Nintendo
actually
to
like
step
fully
up.
back compatible.
I spend a
And I
2,000 to a
ended up buying that.
3,000
They
on
ended up selling
average
it
per
for me,
year
which
on
is what's in
gaming.
the ass now.
I'm looking to pull
Knowing
back
that
to a 1,000,
you can do
circa a
things with that
600.
old console that
It's like a
you
dog
can't do
chasing
with
our
any
own
of the newer
tail.
consoles from
Not
here on
worth it
out.
long term.
For
I spend a
the
2,000
Xbox,
to a 3,000 on average
PlayStation
per year
5
on
being
gaming.
that
I'm looking to
OG
pull back to
original
a
first
1,000,
day one
circa a
PlayStation
600.
3, you could do some
PlayStation
modding
is
on that
taking
thing.
us for a ride, no doubt. I need Nintendo to step up.
Damn, this shit fucking talks way too much. But yeah, no, I agree 1,000% with all that. But yeah, man, it's just it's a different time. I get it. A lot of people see the value in the Pro. But we also have to look at things logically. PlayStation is making a shit ton of money with the Pro. We know this for a fact now. The numbers are out there. And you have to think, why haven't they been getting the profit as much? That's their fucking problem. They did that. They did that. Poor management. They're just they didn't manage these games properly. They over fucking invested. But hey, that shit happens when you're doing really well, you know? But either way, that was the main topic of the night, guys. Thank y'all so much for kicking it with us here today on the State of Game podcast. It was a little bit of a slow start, but we got it cranked up, got my juices flowing, and was able to get some fucking yelling in there. And you guys are like, what the fuck? This dude was wrong with this dude. But yeah, guys, I mean, gaming is my hobby, man. Like I said, I don't drink. I don't drink alcohol. I don't go to the club. I don't do none of that shit. I don't watch TV. Like when I have free time, it's what I do. If I'm not out here taking care of my kid, going to work, with the girlfriend or whatever, doing social family events, going on vacation, weekend trips, stuff like that, I'm gaming. That's just what I
I
prefer to do.
drink. I
RPG,
drink Will's alcohol. I take
RPG
care of
drinks
it
for
for
me.
him. I
I,
got it. I got his
oh wait, I did have
number.
what do you call pina colada
Giveaway?
on the on
Oh,
the on the uh on the weekend trip, and man, that thing was amazing. I was a little buzzed, but yeah, no, I don't do none of that stuff. Gaming is my hobby. It's what I do. And yeah, man, and look, the more PlayStation fucks up, the more money that stays in my pocket. right?
Hmm.
So no loss to me, really. Plates don't do shit for me except they look pretty, whatever. I just want the games. But the games are also, there's a little question mark in the back of my mind with these games. Like Ghost of Yote, that I'm not hyped for that. I'm just not. I know some people see it differently, but I'm speaking just out of my experience, and that's all we know that's coming out. PlayStation did say that they're gonna do single, first party game every single or single player first party game every single year from here on out, and I believe them. This isn't Phil Spencer promising one, what is it, every 3 months, every quarter, and he still hasn't achieved that since he said that. PlayStation, I do believe them because they've been proven to come out with games. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. RPG, anything you want to tell the people?
Nope, just stay off Twitter and play your
It's
fucking
not
game.
enough.
Yeah, I agree. Brett, anything you want to tell the people?
Yeah, I
Should be
agree.
2 per
Stay off
year.
Twitter. Uh, and honestly, game on whatever the fuck you want. Xbox, PlayStation, PC, even if you're just like a mobile gamer, whatever fancies you, enjoy doing it. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Just enjoy your games. Just enjoy the time that you have with them.
That's a fact. Nobody buys your games for you. Nobody pays your bills for you. Nobody does none of that shit for you. So don't fucking let people tell you what to game, what not to game. What I will say is look for reasons to play a game and stop looking for reasons not to play a game, y'all. There's so much shit out there that you're missing out on because you saw some fucking idiot on YouTube who said something is trash. Fuck that guy. He doesn't give a fuck about you. He just wants your like and subscription and for you to drop a 10 bomb so they can fucking pay their editor to edit their bullshit fucking video and fucking not have to work a full-time fucking job. How the fuck do you stream every day and yet you beat 3 games a year? Please explain that to me, you fucking. Anyways, thank y'all so much. And we will catch y'all on Tuesday for the State of Game podcast and with RPG and Henry. And
No,
also,
that'll be just plain.
or just playing, yes, I'm sorry. Just playing stream on Tuesday. And also, if you haven't watched my collection part 5 video, which I dropped yesterday, go watch it. I am doing a $25 PlayStation Store card giveaway. And in order to enter, you have to go to that video. You got to be subscribed. You got to hit like on the video and comment on that video. You do those 3 things, you will be automatically entered. And then 6 days from now, November 16th, Saturday, I will be dropping my video collection part 6. And in that video, I will announce the winner. So if you don't comment on that video, I can't get your name. So write your name on there, hit like and be subscribed, and then I'm gonna write your name on a sheet of paper. I'm gonna rip up all the sheets of paper, put it in a bucket or something, shake it up, and I'm gonna have my son pick out a name, and whoever he picks is who the winner's gonna be. And $25. And I'm just doing this because I've been so appreciative of you guys rocking with me. I mean, I started this whole YouTube thing going on 3 months, and I'm already at 125 subscribers, y'all. 125. So we reached the goal before the year even came. My goal was 100 before December or before January. So we crushed that goal, and I just, man, y'all been sharing my shit, liking my shit, watching my shit, and man, I'm just so excited to see where the channel goes. As the channel grows, the investment into the channel will also increase. So keep an eye out. Besides that, thank you, Brett, for swinging through, man, helping out with the show tonight. RPG, thank you so much. I know you've had a busy day, and we will catch y'all next week. Hopefully, Nelson will be back by then. If a deer doesn't fucking hunt his ass instead of him hunting the deer. Keep it gaming.